And here's Mr. Tony Larkin. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Ray. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Welcome to England.
Thank you very much. This is a pretty nice place you got here.
Out in the country, nice and quiet.
Wow.
Near London.
Wow. So, today I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. I want to find out what's a good boy like you doing this crazy audio stuff.
Why?
How you got started.
Crazy world.
Why aren't you selling newspapers, writing columns, flying airplanes, or baking? How come you got into this? Where did the motivation come from? Were you a musician in the beginning?
Okay. No, just loved music from a very early age. Had quite a few older brothers and sisters, so born in the sort of late 50s, but from the early 60s, I can remember music from them times. One of my brothers playing a skiffle group, so I used to sit in on them when I was 5 years old,
right?
Which is quite fun. Yeah, my passions are really music, motors, engineering, and started off in the engineering world really for a couple of years. Then took a long summer off, went away surfing, came back in the 70s, 76, and my brother was going to build a recording studio.
Oh, yeah.
So I asked him if I want to help. So we built this recording studio. That was my entrance into the industry really. It's a 4-track TAC with a homemade console. There wasn't really much of the industry, was just getting going really. Prior to that, most record companies were making their own equipment. So we built the studio. The first person we called there was Paul Young. He was in his hometown. It was fantastic. The first session, I remember my brother sticking a mic up in front of him, and it sounded fantastic. It wasn't our skill; it was his voice.
It always helps to have a great voice.
But a good start. But so I went, for the 4-track studio, upgraded 16-track. Got involved in buying and selling equipment because there was only 2 or 3 people doing it in the UK, and the demand was growing, particularly for the older consoles. So we were dealing in quite a lot of the older stuff. And then as the sales side grew, we became the UK distributor for Trident. Later on for soundtracks. So we sold lots of them old consoles, complete systems. Then in the 80s, we were putting a lot of complete studios together. There's a lot of commercial studios opening up in the 80s. People taking out second mortgages and stuff. Businessmen want to get involved in the music industry, all that stuff. And so we were doing that up until 86. I bought a house down in the West Country in Devon, and I decided that in 3 years' time I was going to move down there. So in 89, I split from my brother, started my own company, which became TL Audio. But instead of moving down to the West Country, I found that straight away I was very busy, and stayed up in Hertfordshire. And we got involved in manufacturing, tied up with an ex-Need designer who'd been one of the project leaders at Need for 10 years, a chap called Dave Kempson. And he makes all our products for us, designs the circuitry, builds our products for us, and has done from day one. Everything he makes is for us. We own the brand, so we're partners in a way, although separate companies. Proud to say we developed a range of products distributed worldwide for network of dealers, used at the highest levels by artists from all fields really. We have the music from Doctor Who's recorded on the VT console. One of our customers, Coldplay, recorded their last album produced by Brian Eno on their VTC. Just finished their next album with Brian Eno, which is going to be mixed now. It's quite interesting. We've involved in a lot of commercial studios, but also a lot of private studios at all levels, from budget right through to high end. Right.
Now here's the big question that always comes up with TL Audio. Why tubes? What's so special about tubes?
It's the harmonic distortion that the tubes add to the signal, which is very pleasing to the ear. The thing about our products is ours are hybrid, so not all tube like the old-fashioned Fairchilds and Paul-Tex that were around. Which a lot of people have sort of copied that sort of gone down that sort of route for their design. But what we do, we have modern technology, so we got the benefit of very quiet signal path, plus the benefit of the tube sections to give the harmonic distortion. And on some of the products, you can actually switch that section in or out, so you don't have to choose at all if you don't want to. But the ultimate thing is that the combination of the two, you get the best of both worlds. You get very quiet signal path, plus the nice, pleasing warmth from the tubes.
Right. And virtually all the products have tubes.
They do, yeah. We did a range once called the Crimson series, which was all solid state. Very high quality, very popular, but we couldn't produce it in the UK cheap enough for the mass market, because not being tube, it was up against products manufactured in China where people were buying it on the price rather than quality. And so that lasted about a year, and then we went back to all tube.
Right. And what have the customers have reported? I guess a nice warm sound. What kind of feedback have you had on?
Well, that's it really. It is the warm sound. I mean,
because this is the reason I'm asking is this is a nebulous thing. It's like it's hard to quantify. It's hard to pinpoint.
It is, yeah, it is.
How would you say to a layman, somebody's watching this video who probably has grown up with a transistor, this harmonic distortion that we talk about, how does that translate into a bass or a guitar or a voice?
It's not so much the transistor, it's more the chip and the harshness of digital recording. I mean, we've built our first valve unit when the ADAT was introduced. We were selling ADATs, complete systems ADATs. Our customers started asking us if we had second-hand valve units like Pultex or whatever. And so we'd actually started designing some other products for the ENG market. And so we designed our first valve unit, which was a 2-channel 4-band EQ unit. And it just happened the day we got our prototype through, Roy Thomas Baker came to visit us, produced all the Queen stuff and Foreigner. He tried it out and ordered the very first 2 valve units. So we knew we had a good product just straight away from then. And it's with people recording with digital formats now, they want the tubes to warm the sound up, and it tends to be people who are into the audio quality. When a lot of people will say it's nonsense, not interested, but if you look at the sort of people who can afford to buy anything, who are buying our products, like Coldplay, Blur. Quite interesting with Coldplay's last album, they tracked it on their VTC in their London studio, took the tapes out, or took the recordings out to New York to mix them. And the story I've been told, which I believe is true, that they weren't happy with them, brought them back to their studio, and some, not all of the tracks, were actually then remixed on their VTC. Which, if that is a true story, it's a nice story. It's a nice story for us. I mean, if you consider a VTC starts at sort of £10,000, whereas large commercial studios using at the top end using consoles that cost $250,000. That's quite a thing.
And the VTC is also a tube design?
It is, yes, yeah. Hybrid, the same as the other products, yeah.
Right. I want to talk a little bit about some of the products, like mainly the product line. What was the first product in the Classic series that was sort of a commercial success that
was the EQ one, the one that
EQ1?
Thomas Baker purchased the first 2 of.
And you still manufacture this? It's still
No, that one has actually been discontinued.
Right.
It's replaced with the EQ2, which is a fully parametric unit.
Right.
But that unit is, so many people have told me it's the best EQ they've ever used. There are people like Tori Amos using them. Quite a lot of these people, it's quite nice to give us credits on their albums because they just like the equipment. So the EQ2 really was the predecessor, and that's current model. It's a 2-channel 4-band parametric with variable filters and mic pre's built in.
Right. That's
a nice unit.
Yeah. I also like the VP1. I like.
Yeah, that's exceptional. Yeah. Very very good unit. 6 valve stages. We sell it steadily around the world. There are other makes that sell more that seem to be slightly more fashionable. There's one particular silver make that comes to mind, which I won't name. But one of our distributors, particularly in Spain, he tells me that people ask for this other make, and he always tries to get them to take both away and compare them. And almost all the time they go for our product, which is good if they're buying on audio quality facilities.